In the 1960s, there was an explosion of things that were made out of Legos. This is not really surprising because Legos are awesome, and they were introduced to the world just a decade earlier. About 541 million years ago, there was a sudden and rapid diversification of large multicellular animals. This is called the Cambrian Explosion. Sometimes creationists like to suggest the Cambrian Explosion is evidence against the notion of gradual evolution. But let's be careful not to conflate the size of the creatures with the genetic complexity of their cells. Eukaryotic cells are basically the Lego bricks for large animals. All large animals are made out of them. Very often, developing effective building blocks can be just as difficult as developing impressive things with those building blocks. But once all the right parts are in place, putting them together is not really such a difficult challenge. In optimization, we sometimes use simulations of Darwinian evolution called genetic algorithms. Here is a plot of measured fitness over time with a genetic algorithm. Notice how the measured fitness does not increase at a steady linear rate. Instead, fitness occasionally makes rapid jumps. This is a well-understood phenomenon that occurs in all sorts of optimization scenarios. So if someone suggests the Cambrian explosion is some kind of evidence against the theory of evolution, that person really does not understand the theory of evolution very well. Indeed, genetic code does tend to evolve at a fairly steady rate relative to the size of the population. We can even use changes in genetic code as a mechanism for establishing dates. But the theory of evolution does not suggest physical manifestations of genetic code will change at a steady rate. That's just an annoyingly pervasive misconception. Perhaps you might observe that eukaryotes emerged long before the Cambrian explosion. That's actually true. It's also true that bricks existed long before 1960, but a very particular innovation made Lego bricks easy to snap together. Likewise, eukaryotes needed an oxygen food web in order to come together and form multicellular life. And guess what became available just before the Cambrian explosion? Yep, a eukaryotic oxygen food web. If you're interested in tracing it back a little further, that happened because algae started eating Cyanobacteria, which had bloomed due to an increase in oceanic minerals, especially phosphorus, which became more abundant in the oceans after the breakup of the Rodinia megacontinent, which happened because of plate tectonics, which happens because of magma convection, which is driven by primordial heat and radioactive decay of elements that were formed in supernova and the merger of neutron stars. That's about as far back as I can trace it.